As you know, comedy is all about timing. How do you work on comedy when you have to redo scenes and everything like that?
That's a good question.
Staying in the moment, I think. We treat it like a conversation. We improvise a lot, and we're kind of trained to be funny. So if you treat it like a conversation,
We're raised in a cage to be funny.
with some funny wolves, some comedic wolves raised us
It was
to
like
be funny.
Sparta. I would love it if we were raised in a community.
We have a brand on our backs. with
This
a
one's
C.
funny. You go that way. That's interesting. I try to make my kids do comedy. I do all the time. I make them do impressions at the table. I make my 2-year-old daughter do double takes. I try, and they all, like, they hate it, but then they'll do it, and then they laugh.
That's how I started. My parents would have their friends over and have drunk parties and have me and my brother, they would wake us up out of our sleep in our pajamas and make us either dance or do scenes from movies.
I love it, which is the same experience you just had on this picture.
Yeah. It's the same thing.
So,
Full circle.
how's it working with Marlon? Like, what sort of,
Marlon is
producer
literally
actor?
like family to me. So it's kind of like working with my brother. You know, I already know what he's thinking. I know what he wants and what his style is. So it's kind of like another day at the office. You know, he literally called me. He was like, "What are you doing? Can you come shoot this thing tomorrow with me?" All right, cool. What is it? You got to play a thug. Okay, I think I can handle that.
Do
Let's
the
go.
thing you were born to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that brand on your back? Peel it off and come.
He's very welcoming. So it's a fun set. There are no parameters, so just go, and that's very freeing and unique. That most films aren't shot that way.
Yeah, and most comedies are like they don't really have a lot of special effects. So how do you work with special effects and comedy in one?
Well, that's a unique challenge, and I applaud those guys for pulling all of that stuff off, because that's not easy. I certainly can't wrap my head around it. You shoot a lot more than I do for yourself, and so you know a lot.
Yeah,
of those
you just have to use your imagination, because a lot of times the special effect isn't there. So he's saying, imagine that this is going to happen, or this is what's happening in this scene. You just have to react to it. So you just have to be a thespian of sorts to pull it off.
How much acting goes in being able to scream and run like a girl multiple takes?
There's no acting. I've done it. I pull from experience. It's not acting.
I think
I have the vocal range for screaming.
Plus, you want to get to a point where you're cracking yourself up, right?
Yeah. You want to get to a point that takes you so far outside of yourself.
What do you want audiences to get when they go see this film?
Well, just
It's what I want them to give.
Yeah, that's right.
Their money.
Right.
And go see it, buy tickets, don't bootleg it, go see it,
Yeah,
and laugh your ass
don't
off.
bootleg it. Come on. We're trying to make a living, folks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if
We're
you
looking
want
at
to
you,
laugh
China.
some more, go buy a ticket and see it.
Yeah.
So we can make more of these.
Awesome.
You know, I think we both think if we can unburden people for just an hour or an hour and a half, then
Gas
we've done our
prices are
job.
high. You're going to take your mind off of it.
Awesome.